Okay, so I have something else to share. I got up and I felt kind of weird, so I realized I was hungry, but my lungs almost felt like they were filling up with like some sort of fluid. Um, yeah, I decided to stop smoking, and it was like I'll just tell you what I experienced. I was smoking, and I was when I drank coffee, it was like it felt as if I was crackling on the inside, and it made me think about lightning. Yeah, it made me think about like lightning or something like that. And when I would feel that in my system, like outside, when I'd come into the house, I realized that the lights, like the lights in the house, created some sort of static electricity that would affect my heart, and it was like I had to keep a tight ship, like flex my muscles, in the center a lot, just to not be super uncomfortable. And yeah, it was like I don't know. It was like I attracted some sort of static electricity from smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee. It was like I created so much energy inside of my own system that I was attracting energy by not letting it out properly. Do you know what I mean? Like I had too much energy in my system and I wasn't expending it. I wasn't expending it enough. And so I created such a grand um, energy field that I was literally attracting energy to me. Maybe that's the reason why people get struck by lightning. Maybe that's the reason why it happened as a kid. I just had too much energy running around in circles, and maybe I just sat for too long, and it like built it up until I don't know what happened. I don't remember it. Um, but I just realized something about fruit again. So I already talked about the green grapes, and the green grapes that I ate, it like sent me into this delta wavelength. It's like everything sounds like really slow, like but I feel hyper energetic. I feel very energetic, but I kind of I feel like whenever I smoke cigarettes, right? Whenever I think of cigarettes, I think of volcanoes, and it's like almost seems like a genie in a bottle. It's like I'd smoked a cigarette, and it was like it made me feel kind of sexual, manly. It's kind of like I always feel like more of a guy than a girl most of the time, more like a guy animal or something. And it's like I realize that when I don't do the things that I like that make me feel like who I feel like I am, then I actually go against my own system, and I feel more like a young man than I do like a female, I suppose. Like maybe like an effeminate gay man. That's kind of what I feel like most of the time. So I was like I was like fighting my own system here for a few days, and I just realized that I need to tell my story and how things may make me feel and what I think about them and the changes that I actually see in my own body. Um, I think, well, I don't think, this is what happened to me. So, whenever I think about smoking a cigarette, it's like, you know, you just kind of relax, your shoulders go back, you kind of lean to one side on your hips, and you feel good, you feel calm, you feel in the moment. But then I realized that physical changes were actually happening to my body that weren't negative. It was like if I smoked cigarettes and drank coffee, it was super concentrated and it made my physical form, like ripped. Huh. It was pretty insane. But then it became complicated because I was like, well, I want to do some physical activity. So I was like, all right, so now I'm experimenting with different foods to see what can happen from those certain foods. And what I'm realizing is that like the powerful tool of thought, it literally changes a lot of things. It's like by feeling like a guy when I smoke cigarettes, it like changed my entire system. Like I don't even work out, and I have like literally a six pack, and I don't even know why or how that's even possible. And it was like these are the changes I've seen in my own body in just a month. In just a month, by fasting and thinking about what I'm eating and the possibilities could be in doing that. It's kind of crazy. um, but yeah, so that's what it was. It was like, Spirit was telling me, look, these are tools, and you can create anything you want out of these tools, but you have to be positive about it and realize when something is too much. And it's like, by trusting your own elements, like the reason why we have volcanoes and stuff is like when you add to the system, by smoking. I mean, it's not to say that you can't smoke, but it's like knowing when you've had too much and you don't have enough to work with. And so this morning when I woke up, I had some lentil soup, and I felt like so much better. And it was like, the protein I was possibly missing from my diet, or the salt, because I've been trying to clean my system out. And then this morning I also had an avocado, and I don't know if green has something to do with. Um, I don't know if green has something to do with it, because the green grapes also sent me into Delta, but the avocados did the same thing, sent me into a Delta. In fact, what it did was it was like I ate the avocado, and it made me really thirsty. It was kind of like smoking a cigarette when it's damp out. Like it has sulfur in it or something. Because whenever I think of sulfate or sulfur, I think of cigarettes, I think of volcanoes, like sulfuric acid possibly, and now I think about those products. I don't know. I mean, there's got to be a correlation. Maybe it's because they're complementary colors, because the cigarettes have that red glow to them. And then you got the green food. I don't really know. I don't know the answers to that, but I'm just telling you how it made me feel because of the way I thought about it. When I think of green, I think of like being in the middle. Like it's like this green revolution. It's like a healing. It's like a healing color. I mean, it's the whole reason why I got this one in green, because it's like, it's just a healing color. That's what I picture it to be. So yeah. What I do is I drink Dr. Pepper while I'm eating green foods, because it makes me thirsty. It's almost like the sulfate or the sulfite or the sulfur, whatever it is. It's almost as if, like, the ADD medication with sulfates, it's like a natural salt. So it's like the volcanic ash that we're actually experiencing is probably going around the entire world. And that's the reason why people are drinking so many fluids and working out so much. And why people want, like, you know, people are working out and wanting perfect bodies and stuff. But what I'm realizing is that by fasting, I'm literally trying each individual food and like trying to figure out how it makes my body feel. But I think the truth is that it can make you feel however you want, because there's ash in everything that we eat. There's water in everything that we eat. That's probably the reason why I like the cheetah energy, and why that's my spirit animal, is because they don't really drink much water. They just eat whatever food they have, and they use the water that's within them and within whatever it is that they eat. I don't know. I can only tell you my story, and then, then you can sort of relate your own story to what it is. But I think it's very important to realize, like, what you enjoy and then why you enjoy it, because it tends to make like a real big difference in your physical appearance just by realizing that. Yeah, that's all I have to share. Thanks for watching.